did it ever come to a point where you got comfortable in the water? You know, where like for example, when I'm running, there's a certain time in that when I'm running where I'm able to kind of just like it doesn't matter what I'm thinking of. Like a lot of times is negative self-talk, and it's like, oh, you're gonna stop. You suck. You don't have the motivation to do this, and a lot of time there's that point where it's like completely silent and you're just doing the thing. Did that ever in those 300 days that you've done the ice bath now? Was there ever a point that you got to that like silentness?
Yeah, I think it probably took, um, I don't know, maybe 50 days,
Yeah.
maybe. Um, but I get to that point probably about 10 to 20 seconds after I'm in the water, and that's it. It's like the hardest part is just like taking those first two steps out the door. It's
Yeah.
like, you sit there like staring out the window, looking at this water for like 20 minutes, and it's like that's the worst part because you're just building up this anxiety of like, am I going to do this? Can I do this? Like this is going to suck. I'm still going to do it. Can I just wait a little bit longer? Once you step out the door, it's like there's no turning back. I'm still going to do this. And that anxiety is there the whole way up until your feet touch the water. But once you're in, it's like I'm in now. Like
Yeah.
I'm just chilling. But yeah, it takes a while to get up to it because like I said, those first probably 50 days, it's just like you know, it's hard to think about anything. It's hard, like if you go back and watch my content, like those first 50 days, I wasn't talking to the camera. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't articulate words. I couldn't think about anything other than just, is this over yet?
Mhm.
And so yeah, I mean, there's definitely an evolution to it. Um, but yeah, I think just like anything, like once you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a story. I don't know. I think Will Smith is the one who told the story, but it was like on the other side of fear, there's bliss. And he talks about like jumping out of an airplane, going skydiving. Right when you're on the edge, it feels the most fear that you've ever felt. But as soon as you jump off, it's just complete bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that way?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
100%. And you know, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Like I'm sitting there, especially, when we're about to get into winter here. The snow's on the ground, that the ice is like, 4 inches thick, and I'm just looking at this ice bath going like, this is brutal. Like, why am I doing this?
Mm.
Um, and the anxiety is real. But once you get past that point, and especially once you get to the other side of it, um, the feelings you feel, not only just because the cold water will provide that for you, but it's the feeling of, I overcame something that I thought was impossible.
Mm.
And I wish everybody could experience that, because it's another level of confidence that you can just add to your tool belt, of like, when shit gets really hard, that you can just go back there and pull it out and say, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
That's a crazy like it's a very important tool to have in life in general. And I think Alex Morozzi tweeted this too. It was like he was talking about how self-confidence is if you think you can't do something, you just have to have this stack of proof
Hmm.
that like undeniable proof that you can do it. Yeah,
Hmm.
you've done something in the past, and like even when the ice is 4 inches thick, what like there's a certain mindset that you have to develop. Like you're not just doing it like okay when you're motivated. You're doing it every single day, and it
Hmm.
doesn't matter what the weather is. It doesn't matter if it's like your kids are sick or your wife's not feeling well. You're getting in that water, and you're doing it.
Hmm.
What is that mindset? Like where did you like develop that, man? Because that's a dog
Yeah, I know.
mindset.
I appreciate that, man. And if I'm honest, that's always just been who I am.
Yeah.
It's always been in me. Now, whether or not I've been able to pull that out of me when I needed to or when I wanted to, is a different story. But I think everyone, um, who can exercise some level of discipline, um, has that within them. And so it's just, I don't know. To answer it's a tough question to answer, because it's not like, one day it was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be disciplined now.
Yeah.
It's just something that I always felt like I had a chip on my shoulder. I always felt like I had something to prove. And it wasn't like it was a competition with anybody else. It was always a competition with myself. And maybe that goes back to, my childhood, where it's like I wanted to prove something to everybody else, to be something that I wasn't.
Yeah.
I think that part of me just carried over into like this ultra competitive side of me, which is like, I'm just gonna beat the hell out of myself,
Mhm.
and still be okay.